Hey guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts, and welcome to my craft room. This is my WiP It Wednesday video where I show you whatever I've been working on in the craft room, no matter what craft and how small of a project or how long I've worked on it. If you guys watched last week's Crafting With Me video, you saw that I worked on these two projects on this canvas board. I really enjoyed these to the point where I'm going to go up to the Dollar Tree this week and pick up some more of these because I'd like to make some Halloween ones. I'll pop a link up to the video just in case you guys missed it. I made a scrubby dishcloth. This one I haven't blocked yet, but I have 3 different colors, so I thought I'd go ahead and switch each week to a different color. So here's my pinky peach one. This will forever and always be my dishcloth bag. My needles have actually stuck into the bag several times here because it's just a little bit small for it, but at the same time it's like the perfect size. So I cast on another one. This yarn is so soft. Normally with the dishcloth cotton it's kind of rough and scruff feeling, but this is so soft that I would wear this for, I don't think I'd wear a cotton sweater, but I think you probably could with this. It would definitely be okay for wearing for mittens or you know, the fingerless mitts or something. But this I picked up at Walmart. This is the Peaches and Cream Stripey. The color is Beach House. But I wanted to see how this one striped up. And once again, this was the only color. I almost said the only flavor. This is the only color that I saw at Walmart that was a stripey. So I grabbed that one, and this one's kind of nice because it has that mottled with the little lighter color, like it fades in and out on each color that I enjoy. So that's working out really nice, and I think I've hit, okay, I'm just getting ready to hit this purpley blue color, and then that'll be all of them. So there'll be 4 colors. I'm just really shocked at how soft this is. So it's a really nice yarn this time. If I had little shorter needles, it wouldn't be the problem, or if I use circulars. But it's okay because it's only for doing washcloths, and if it gets a hole in the bag, I know who makes nice bags like this, and they can always make me a new one, right? Sticking with the knitting theme, I did pull out the newsprint cowl, and I worked on that a little bit. Let's see how much of a little bit I did. I did work on 3 rows of it, so that's pretty good. A little mindless knitting at night while sitting in front of the TV, just going round and round and round. Now the other knitting I did in this fun little Snoopy bag, this is corduroy. I think it was my probably 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, I wore corduroy pants all the time in all the different colors. I remember burgundy and green and tan. This is the summer rain shawl that I pulled off last week because I had problems with the stitch count and the way the pattern was working up. So I am back to where I was. So it's like nothing ever happened. I've got back to it. I've got my first little raindrops. You see the little lace holes there? I got my first little raindrops done, and I'm working on that part where as it drips down. So can you see how it leaves you that little line like a raindrop falling down or water droplet coming out of the faucet? So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm getting ready to start into my 2nd row, and we'll see if everything lines up properly this time. I like the way this part is looking here, so if the next row doesn't line up properly, I'm just going to fudge it. And it'll be fine. All it is just moving raindrops over one spot if it's not matching up to your knitting. So I like the drape of this. This feels like it's going to lay nice and drapey and airy and not be a heavyweight shawl, yet it's going to be enough to add a little bit of warmth. It'll definitely be good for one of those cool evenings or when you're in a restaurant in the air conditioning. And this should be a substantial size, so it'll be nice. I've been making a few new bag styles this week. These are these little boxy bags. This is a pattern from So Talk Handmade. I'll go ahead and link to it down below in the description box. It's a paid for pattern that I picked up on Etsy. I follow her on Instagram and she has so many fun bags. This is the medium size of the pattern and it fits my rotary cutter perfectly. So you can put some different tools in here, maybe a smaller pair of scissors. It fits pens and pencils nicely. So any of the little things you might want to put in there to take somewhere, or you could use it as a little bit of a makeup bag or something. What I did here is I loved these two fabrics, these little feathers. So I put this one on the outside and this one on the outside and this one. But then on the inside, I went ahead and used the opposite colors. And you can see that there. Now this is a little bit of a different construction than I'm used to. So it has no exposed seams, but you use the bias tape to cover them up. And since you're using the same fabric from your lining, once you have everything in there, it's really not all that noticeable. I mean, now that I've pointed it out, you can see it. But sometimes if you don't notice things like that right away unless someone points it out, it all blends in nicely. It sits in there really well. I like the way it sits. Has a nice little handle if you want to carry it or hang it from something. As I said, this is the medium size, so there's a smaller one. This one for me ended up being 6 inches. Hers are 6.5, but I guess I did something a little bit different. Who knows? I'm not surprised. And then next size down is 5 inches, which would probably be 4.5 for me. And then a larger 8-inch one. So I want to go ahead and make the larger one and the smaller one just to get a good representation of what the sizes look like. And decide if I want to put these in the shop. So if anyone is interested in bags of these sizes, let me know. And I'll go ahead and pull out some different fabrics and I'll put some in the shop. Now the next bag I'm going to make though is I'm going to make the Susie sack. At least that's my plan. These are these cute little, almost like the popcorn bags that we were making that one week, but it has a flat bottom here and then it closes up at the top with a little zipper in the front. So I thought these were going to be kind of cute and I thought I'd give these a try. I've been having fun making the little bags like this. I've always enjoyed making project bags and little purses and stuff. Now that's it on the actual crafting. The other thing I've been doing is I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and put some I Spy fabric charm squares into my shop. So I've been cutting out a bunch of 5-inch charm squares of different novelty fabric. So a variety of boy and girl. Some things that would be small enough to be able to tell on an I Spy quilt, but not lose what they are. Some of the novelty fabrics I have, the prints on it are just too large that they're going to make fun project bags, but they're not going to actually work for I Spy squares because you won't be able to see what the design is. So I have a lot of animals, puppies and cats, so that's the fun ones. I really like this one with the cats going fishing in the fishbowl. As I said, there's lots of cat ones. Raining cats and dogs, that's a fun one. I really like this one. This one will make a nice project bag for Halloween. With Halloween coming up, I think I'm going to go ahead and start making some bags in that type of fabric. Ay, ay, ay. So I'm going to put these in the shop soon, and I'm also going to make, I've had a lot of requests for, do you know where I can pick up scrap fabrics? Do you know, where can I buy scrap fabrics? I don't have scrap fabrics like you. So I thought I'd go ahead and put up some packs for some crumb blocks. Just some little bits of scraps, some larger pieces, some smaller pieces. Some people like to use the little 1 or 2 inch strips. So I thought I'd put a variety of packs together of that. I do have a lot of that. And I thought I'd also put together some packs for the calculator strips. So I would cut off a couple yards of the paper and give you enough fabric to stitch to the paper. Because in the coming months, the coming weeks, I'd like to get right back to doing those. I have a few ideas in my head of projects that we could work on that would use those strips. So I'd like to go ahead and put some of those in the shop for those people that don't want to go and buy the big rolls of calculator tape, but maybe they want to make a small basket or a bag out of it. So that way they can just go ahead, they can pick up the tape and they can pick up the scraps and they'll be all set to go to make themselves a little project. I just have to figure out with like the crumb blocks if I'm going to sell it by weight. I think that might be the best way to give people an idea of how much they're getting. You know, little Ziploc bags, like a quart-sized bag full at a certain weight. That way all the bags are going to weigh the same, but your yardage may vary, because if I put a lot of 2 or 3 inch strips in versus a 1.5 inch strip or a couple 5 inch strips, it's all going to vary. But I like to put a good variety of small pieces, medium and large. And then I thought I'd also, for those who want to do the crumb blocks but don't want to work on the little ones, that I'd put them with all larger pieces of fabric. So like nothing smaller than a 1.5 inch strip, nothing smaller than a 2 inch strip, and make them long enough that you can actually make a 6.5 inch block and it would work for you. So that's it for me this week. I have been dabbling more in, when you start a new bag project, for me it takes me a little while to work through, to read the directions, to get a feel for the way the designer wants it made. Because I've made box bags before, but it seems like every pattern I look at is different. So you have to learn each new designer's their rhythm and the way that they put their bags together. So it did take me a few hours to make those 2 bags, when normally I could probably make 2 of those in less than an hour. The only thing else that's been happening in the craft room is I have been rearranging my craft room in my mind. Sometimes I like to just visualize and measure and see where I can start moving things around. My craft room is only 10 by 10, and if I start moving things around, I'm going to have a giant traffic jam in the middle, and then it'll be hard to rearrange the pieces. So I try to use a yardstick and measure everything and figure out where it's going to go and visually imagine it before I start moving it around. And I really kind of feel the need. My house, I love rearranging furniture in the house, but the way my living room and my bedroom and stuff is set up, it's got to stay just the way it is. It's the best way for it. My living room has a giant mirror on the wall, and my living room is a rectangle that goes like this from the front door in, and this whole entire wall is a mirror. So you have to put the TV and stuff here with all the electrical outlets and the cable box and whatnot, and then you put your couch and stuff here. That's it. You're not going to put your furniture going across this way, because when you come in the front door, you're going to block it. So I have this urge, like once a year, to rearrange furniture, so I'm going to rearrange my craft room. And I think the way I'm imagining it is going to open up some extra space for me to move around a little bit more. So fingers crossed it works out the first time, and then we'll go from there. And when it's all done, I'll give you guys a sneak peek and let you see what I did. I hope everyone's enjoying the last bits of summer. I know a lot of you, your kids have already gone back to school, or you don't have kids in school, but summertime seems to be starting to slowly come to an end as we're coming into September. I've noticed a lot of times families and a lot of people, they go out and do a lot of fun stuff during the summer, and then when the cooler winter months come, that's when everyone starts to hunker down and doing all their crafting. So do you plan ahead for what you're going to work on this winter, or are you just going to jump in and just do whatever interests you? By now, you guys have probably figured out that I just jump in and do whatever interests me at the moment. All right, guys, enjoy your week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.